first thing we do is we put on the oven to 210. We preheat that oven very high. We preheat the oven. Okay, the next thing we do is we peel all the potatoes and put them in cold water so that they're all ready to use when we're ready to put together the kugel. And we peel 1 or 2 zucchini and at least 2 big onions. We take out eggs, probably about 8. It goes 2, for each 2 big potatoes, it's 1 egg. So if I have 16 potatoes, it'll be 8 eggs. Okay, next we have a cutting board. And then over here we're getting our oil prepared, salt and pepper. And we prepare the pans that we're going to be baking the potato kugel in. So everything is all ready, because the trick here is to use your food processor and do all of this as quickly as possible so that the potatoes don't turn brown. And that's the trick. And you need 1 giant bowl to mix everything in. And let us begin. The food processor is set up with the shredder. Put in. And into this food processor, I'm going to shred the potatoes and the zucchini. All right? And
best food processor in town.
And
what about the onions?
The onions are going with the eggs and with the silver blade. So the potatoes, I just drain them a teeny bit on the towel to get off the extra water. And we're going to start with the... Take the 2 onions and we're going to put the silver blade in, and we're going to chop the eggs with the onion. I just cut it into 4 because it's going to be chopped very finely. That's the onions with the eggs are the next step. Okay. And I'm going to put in 6 eggs because I had smaller potatoes, so I have to configure it. I drain them from the water, and I'm going to add the mixture, the eggs and the onions, add it to the mixture. And my hands, which were washed, are now going to mix the whole thing together, to which I'm going to add 3/4 cup of oil, because it's not so many potatoes. Usually if I do 14 big potatoes, I do 1 cup of oil. But this is a little bit less, so I'm going to do 3/4 cup of oil. I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of salt and pepper. And I'm going to add the spices, which is salt, so 2 tablespoons, and pepper. Pepper, depends how you like it. Okay, that happened, maybe like a teaspoon of pepper. And I'm gonna again whisk this all together. Now, before I complete that, I need to put I prepared the pans. I'm making some of this for takeaway, so I'm using tins for the takeaway, and for what I eat at home, I put in a glass Pyrex. But if you want to leave it to takeaway, so what I'm doing is I'm putting on the bottom of the pan olive oil, and I'm sticking it in the oven for 2 or 3 minutes so that the oil on the bottom is hot. So I put it in while I'm stirring, just don't want to overdo it, it'll burn the oil, but for 2 minutes about, I'm going to heat up these pans, and I'm going to continue stirring the potato mix. So that's all mixed together, the eggs, onions, potatoes, zucchini, the oil, the salt, and the pepper. And I'm going to start by pouring into the bigger ones. You will have leftover juice, or let's say liquid, on the bottom, at which we're going to divvy up at the end when we're finished putting out the... Now you don't want to make it too high, because then it'll be a very fat kugel. It's better if it's crispier. There it goes. And now they're ready to go into my oven. 50 minutes after we put the kugels in, and as you can see, they're getting nice and brown. The ones on the top are a little bit browner than the ones on the bottom. So we're going to do a switch with the kugels. And we'll put the ones from the top to the bottom until they'll both be evenly brown. Here they come, the beautiful potato kugels.